Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, September 6th, 2024. Let's find out what's going on the Forex economic calendar today. As there it is, a first Friday of the month, we obviously will have the main event of the month from the US, and it is the non-farm payrolls release. Nevertheless, let's find out what's going on during the London session. Halifax House Price Index data from the UK are scheduled for release at 8 o'clock, together with the German industrial production and German trade balance. At 9 o'clock, ECB Elderson will give a speech, and at 11 o'clock, Eurozone GDP is scheduled for a release. Mortgage rate from the UK is scheduled for release at 11 o'clock as well. And that's about the London session. Now, the US session, of course, starts at 2:30. And we have the average hourly earnings scheduled for release. Non-farm payrolls, which are expected to increase from 114 to 164. Participation rate, private non-farm payrolls, and unemployment rate. All of this data are, of course, from the US. Then we got the unemployment change and employment change and unemployment rate from the Canada. This is still 2:30, and 15 minutes later we got the FOMC member Williams to give a speech. IVA PMI is scheduled for this at 4 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, there is US Barker Hughes oil recount and total recount. This is data for the crude oil traders. 7:30, there is a German Bubba Balz who will give a speech, and that's about it. So this is the situation on the economic calendar for Friday, August 6th. Unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, and average hourly earnings are the main events during the New York session. Let's find out what's going on the charts. We are going to start with euro dollar. For our chart of the euro dollar is behaving exactly as we expected, as our blue arrows indicate. Those data are from, of course, yesterday. We got a rally up towards that trend line, of course. We got the rally towards the trend line, and as you can see, now it's the crucial time. The market is positioning itself ahead of the non-farm payrolls. Surprisingly, the market might be continuing this movement to the upside, despite the fact that we almost hit the extremely overbought conditions. The market broke above this level here, 1.11. I don't think it will make much difference right now for the market participants, because it doesn't actually look like the market is respecting this level, which is why we are going to make this level here a little bit tighter. The technical resistance at 1.1151. This is the next main target, short-term target for the bulls, if there is a breakout to the upside. So let me just adjust the levels first. This is the next technical resistance. So this is going here, 1.1191, and of course the swing high at 1.1202. Now this trend line might be going. This trend line might be a little bit difficult for the bulls to break. So please don't be surprised if there's any kind of a movement to the downside, or any kind of a movement that will eventually ends up as a reversal lower. Of course, lower targets we have in the on the chart. Let me just adjust the levels, because those might be quite crucial for today. There is a very strong zone, as you can see, located between the low of 1.1027 and the local level of 1.1050. So that's 23 pips. Very nice zone for the bulls to keep buying these dips. Nevertheless, that situation here looks rather bullish, just ahead of the US non-farm payrolls. This is the euro dollar. Let's take a look at the US dollar index. And the US dollar index is moving lower. It went from the extremely overbought conditions, as you can see, right at the top of the level of 101.89. So this is the technical resistance down towards the level of 148, which is the very important technical support. This is because that's the recent swing low. Any breakout lower would likely confirm the downtrend on the US dollar, which means all of the US dollar related pairs will strengthen across the board, and the dollar will get weaker. So weak dollar means US dollar, euro dollar goes up, cable goes up, US dollar to the Japanese yen goes down, and so on and so on. So it's really worth to keep an eye on the situation with the US dollar index. Now levels, we got some levels like technical resistances. 101.22 is one of them, and 101.53 is the other one. As you can see, we might apply the trend line, and this trend line is showing you that the downside movement is particularly strong, and it looks like the market wants to move way lower right now. Let me just make a channel out of this trend line here. It looks like we are moving in this very weak channel. Nevertheless, we are still inside of it. Next target, of course, this is the next target here. Let me indicate this with my arrow, if I will find it. There you go, arrow. And only if we, there you go, hit this level, then the new swing low is confirmed. Please take a look on the zoom out situation of the US dollar index. Downswing, bounce, lower low, lower high during the bounce, and now it's time for the lower low. But if we take a look at the market conditions, they are of course extremely oversold. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that the market will not spike down during the news release or during the coordinated action from the different markets. So US dollar index outlook bearish, US dollar outlook bullish. S&P 500, we talked about it yesterday after this sell-off happened. For today on the S&P 500, the market is actually testing the level of 5,493. This is a temporary technical support. Nevertheless, it will not last for long, because it looks like this market is scheduled for a rather bigger movement to the downside. It just recently has been rejected. So let me just apply the Fibonacci correctly. So from that high to, let's say, that low here, the recent swing low, swing up is now applied, and the 38% is located at the level of 5,439. 50% of the whole retracement is 5,369, and the 61%, the last level of the major Fibonacci retracement, is 5,304. Nevertheless, there might be some kind of a bounce to the upside during the news release, data release, NFP payrolls, but then we might still go lower. S&P 500 down means that the US dollar should be moving higher, basically. Okay, so if the S&P 500 moves up, risk is on, and US dollar is being sold across the board. Euro dollar goes up, cable goes up, US dollar to the Japanese yen goes down. The other situation, if there is a movement to the downside on the S&P 500, US dollar index should go up in that situation. However, the market conditions are now almost extremely oversold. Well, we didn't even touch the level of 38%, so that's really not something that we want to see already, because oversold conditions should be made only if we move a little bit mid lower. But as you can see, even with that very slight movement to the downside, how many percent is that? I don't think it's even 1%. That's less than 1% for sure. What's my price range? There you go. There's a price range. Let me just make a quick calculation. This is, no, that's more. That's minus 3%. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. That's minus 3%, and minus 3% means that we go from extremely overbought to almost extremely over. So this is only 31 points. So 1 point above the level of 30 on the RSI. So 3% down means extremely oversold conditions on the 4-hour chart. Very interesting situation on the S&P 500. And the last one to take a look at ahead of the interest rate decision is, of course, gold market. We broke below the trend line. We broke below the level of 2,481, the major technical support. Then we've made a local low, 2,471, so $10 lower. Now we are bouncing strongly back towards the highs of 2,531. This only can mean that the market participants position themselves for a weaker dollar. So they want to see S&P 500 rallying, gold rallying, which is kind of interesting, and US dollar moving lower, euro dollar going up, cable going up, US dollar to the Japanese yen going down. Positive, strong momentum on the gold. We are about to test the swing high located at 2,513. Please be prepared for that situation. And last but not least, let's take a look at Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is moving exactly as we expected. After we get rid of the impulsive wave progression to the downside, we still should see movement lower. We still should see movement towards the level of 54,285. Momentum is negative, sentiment is very negative, and the market keeps trading roughly around the level of 56,000, while the RSI remains roughly around the level of 40 points only. So it looks like sooner or later we will have the breakout to the downside as the correction evolves lower and lower, penetrating the lower levels. Just yesterday we got the new local low, 55,606. So the bears are in charge of the Bitcoin. We still should see lower levels here on the Bitcoin, targeting the 54,328 level. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.